Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm a watercolour and ink artist and currently specialising in fashion illustration, but we'll see where that takes me. Currently, you can interact with my artwork at Northern Last on Instagram. I found all the support groups that I was finding on Instagram, they tend to be people that didn't really know the value of their work right now, and they didn't really know how to implement that into a career, and it was just more of a hobby for them. And I wanted to be in a community that wanted to make a career out of it, were a bit more driven, wanted to have more of a creative spirit and a bit more excitement about it. The community that we have built with the Creative Collective, they tend to be a little bit more experienced than I was. So maybe they were asking questions and they were adding more support and chipping in with ideas and doing other things because they had more experience in the industry already. They might have done textiles or illustration that's a bit more commercial, and they're just looking to find their wholehearted art, their wholehearted pieces, and they want to be a bit more personal to them and not necessarily be as commercial. But for me, I'm kind of the opposite. I've been experimenting. I have been a bit more free with my art, and I've just been doing what I like and what I enjoy to paint. And I'm looking to maybe make that a bit more commercial. So maybe some of what the questions that they were asking actually helped me in some ways as well. I wanted to gain a sense of the industry, a sense of the business side of being an artist and not just playing around with my tools and my paints. And I wanted to see how I can take that one step further and develop that. For me, it's been incredible to learn about how I communicate with clients, how we create pitches, and being able to communicate with agencies and other businesses, and where I can implement my work for advertising, for marketing, for billboards, for skyscrapers. Something that was really unexpected for me was to start learning about agencies. I didn't realise that that was an avenue I could go down. Right now, obviously, I'm handling things myself. I'm learning to work with independent clients and private clients, and hopefully I will be at a point where I need an agent and I need someone to be able to handle some of that workload for me. And that's really interesting to see people's feedback of working with agencies and how they got there and how they managed to get that connection and who approached who, and whether it's worth working with an agency, especially if you're going to do it in different areas of the world. And that's something completely new, that's bigger than I ever thought. But now it's something that I'm really considering. Joanna was really accommodating with the scheduling and really liaising with the other girls to make sure that we all had a good time together and that made us all work at once, as opposed to having to miss things because of my 9-to-5 job or having to catch up on things. She made it really easy for me to access those Zoom calls. If, for example, I couldn't access the Zoom calls at the time that it was happening, the live meets that we had, then I could always access that. I could always catch up on it because they would be recorded and I wouldn't miss any little detail because it was all on the website that she's created, which is amazing and super easy to use. The friendships and relationships that I've built with the women in the Creative Collective are incredible. They're people that I can rely on to give me honest feedback, but also to give me value as well. So not to pull me back and rein me in, but to hype me up, support me and make me better and help me grow in a way that my other friendships maybe can't do, because they're artists, they understand where I'm coming from, I understand where they're coming from, and we've really just built this incredible platform for us to share work and to be able to share our processes and give feedback in a really open way. My aha moment was actually when we were talking about what makes me unique as an artist. And I have spent a good few years learning how to work within the fashion industry. And I've always been told, especially at university, that fashion is art. But for me, my fashion illustration is elevating that commodity and that garment, that fashion, to be in a place of art and be a bit more spiritual and a bit more soulful, and to make you think and to make you question the narrative and see other things in there and not just a pretty dress or a nice pair of shoes. I want it to be a story. Why did they choose that dress? Why did they wear those shoes? How does it make the woman feel? What is the story behind the fashion illustration? What is the story behind the designer? What inspired them, and how did it make them create this? Where did it come from? Before the Creative Collective, I was on a journey, and I had read The Artist's Way, and I was starting to realise who I was and realise where I wanted to be. And now this program has just really solidified that for me. I've set my intentions. I know exactly where I want to be. I have huge goals and I know how to get there. And yeah, I think this is the most valuable thing that I've done with my time. And I found a way to make my art something that is going to be part of me and my career for the rest of my life.